Have you ever wondered how AI would manage a coach's career? Well, we're going to find that out over multiple episodes, and it will start here today. L.T. Beaumont III, the head coach from the North Carolina Tar Heels, is going to now be in college football 26. The prompt I gave AI was give me a story for a coach like Coach Prime. I want people to question if he deserves the job. I want people to hate this coach. I want him to come for money, and to be easy to dislike. But I want you to give him an edge, a passion, even a purpose. I want this coach to be flashy. He doesn't want 3-star players. He wants big names, diamonds, and everything that comes with it. He has some history, maybe legal or with women, your choice. I want this coach to be the type of guy you don't want to date your sister, but you also do not want to have beef with him. This coach has to be from a big city, and he is powerful outside the game of football. He is a household name, but not always for the right reason. He cares about the players only if you are producing. I gave you the baseline for what I want this coach to be. Please make everything else. Give him a name, age, hometown, passion, backstory, job, restrictions for the Dynasty, etc. Now, it gave us L.T. Beaumont III. I am going to add audio files to this with Notebook LM, so you will be hearing some of those in these episodes. But let's go over Beaumont III. He's 47. He coaches North Carolina. His hometown is 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. And his media nickname is Kashmir Luther. Very interesting. Why this hire made sense and enraged everybody. North Carolina football lives in a strange space. Massive brand, massive resources, massive expectations, inconsistent results. Basketball royalty, football potential. UNC didn't hire Luther Beaumont because they needed a rebuild. They hired him because we're tired of being respected and ignored. Alright. The backlash was instant. Former players call it anti-Carolina. Boosters were split down the middle. National media said UNC chased relevance the wrong way. LT didn't defend himself. He smiled and said, "Y'all already don't take this program serious. I'm just honest about it." So that's a quote from LT himself. Very, very strange. Why people question if he deserves the job. UNC fans believe in prestige, clean image, intelligence, doing things the Carolina way. LT believes in leverage, exposure, power, and winning loudly. He didn't climb the coaching ladder the traditional way. He forced the door open using influence, NIL control, and recruiting dominance. Critics say he's a brand manager, not a coach. Supporters say the brand hasn't scared anyone in 20 years. Football identity. Offense. Vertical, explosive, star-centered. Quarterback and receiver-driven. Stats matter. Optics matter. So when we're playing offense, we will be playing a type of offense like this where it's vertical, explosive. So we're moving away from the running back identity that UNC normally has to you're throwing the ball every down. The defensive philosophy is aggressive fronts, risk-heavy coverage, and designed to create chaos, not comfort. So, for me, that looks like a lot of DB blitzes, probably some man coverage, Here's the recruiting philosophy, and this is where his real hate comes from, apparently. No 3-star recruits, no diamonds in the rough speeches, no promises or patience. He wants 4 and 5-star players, elite transfers, players with national buzz, kids with confidence, ego, and ambition. So this means that we need elite transfers, 4 and 5-star recruits only, except transfers, like, they translate to 4 and 5 stars in College Football 26, so we'll have to keep that in mind. He openly tells recruits, if you want comfort, go somewhere else. If you want cameras, come here. High school coaches in North Carolina hate him. Relationship with players. L.T. is brutally honest. If you produce, he protects you publicly, he connects you to NIL money, and he pushes your name to NFL circles. If you don't, you're processed, you're replaced, you're invisible. That's really harsh, actually. The skeletons, why he's always watched. Nothing criminal, nothing proven, nothing clean either. Settled lawsuit, including a former associate. Precedent rumors about relationships crossing lines. Booster proximity that makes complaints nervous. Okay. Every offseason. Is this the year something sticks? It never does. Why he's powerful outside of football. Before UNC L.T. build leverage, he was an early NIL architect, a consultant for elite athletes, connected to agents, marketers, and donors, someone who understands money better than most ads. He doesn't ask for buy-in. He creates dependence. Here's the Dynasty restrictions. So this is what we're actually going to be doing in the game. 4 or 5 stars only, transfers encouraged, and no project players. So that means like no project players. So we can't really let people develop. Like, very interesting. I feel like red shirts may not be allowed. I may have to ask AI that, but roster 2 years max without production. Stars must touch the ball. Depth is replaceable. The staff, high profile coordinators only, short leashes, no loyalty hires. Pressure, constant media, NCAA watching closely, booster expectations sky high. Who he really is. Luther Beaumont isn't trying to be loved. He is trying to prove that college football doesn't reward purity. It rewards power. He's the only coach you don't trust, the only coach you don't invite over, the coach you pray your program never needs. But if he wins at UNC, everyone else starts copying him. So that's the background information for Mr. Luther. I mean, if you like this idea, make sure to like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and it lets me know that y'all want to see more of this. Now, let's head over to the gameplay, create this coach, and this Tar Heels team is an 81 overall across the board. Obviously, we're going to be the head coach. And Beaumont III is a recruiter archetype. And here is L.T. Beaumont III. Got a little bit of swagger going on. Has the braids going down his neck. And we are going to start off in present day, off-season. We are going to fire our DC, but we will keep Freddie Kitchens on the team. I like his talent development. And our recruiting class has actually been pretty good. Outside of losing Hishin a defensive tackle to Ohio State, but he only has normal dev, so that is okay. But let's take a look at development traits. McQuarters, a star dev, star for Lawrence, going to be fantastic, probably going to play right guard. Armon has elite development, fantastic at wide receiver. Bursby has star for Tuscan, and he's going to be a good linebacker. Doss, unfortunately, only normal. Demetrius Butts, impact. Nordoma has star, normal for speed, and Braverman has normal as well. So overall, a pretty good recruiting class so far. We are 16th in the nation with 10 total, and we're gonna hire Jim Mora to be our defensive coordinator. I like his architect, and he does accept the job, so he will be our DC for next season. And taking a look at the players leaving, we are losing a lot of players. Caleb Cost, a good cornerback. Benjamin, he's a good running back. But then we're losing Malcolm Ziegler and Bryce Baker, who I was hoping to be our quarterback of the future. But he is going to leave us in the transfer portal, so we're going to have to pick up somebody new. Unfortunately, we're going to be losing most of these players. We're going to try to get back Ziegler, and he is not persuaded. The last two we're probably going to try to get is Leacock, and he leaves as well. And we'll try to get Wilson back. Or Dante Robinson, excuse me. But he's not persuaded either, so we're losing a great portion of our team. Benjamin Hall, Caleb Cost is a big cost for us. We don't have very many corners, but these corners we definitely do need. Maybe we do have one drafted player. We'll have to check in on that. We're losing a lot of players. And we do have one drafted player, is Andrew Simpson in the 7th round. Now, if we had a talent developer unlocked for the linebackers, it would probably do more, but here's the recruiting board for the transfer portal. Going after a lot of transfers. Hopefully we could get at least 15 of them. We're in a lead for a lot of them. And here we go. TJ Bush Jr., left edge, commits. Gordon, running back, commits. That's huge. A wide receiver, Yankin Smith. Another wide receiver, Noah Rogers. Malachi Stewart, a left guard. Derek Simmons, a left edge. Nitro Tuggle, what a name, another wide receiver. We do get Callahan Ellis, a left guard. AJ Brand, a quarterback. Khalik Wilkins, another quarterback. JC French, another quarterback. Josiah Chestnut, a center. Robert Wright Jr., and that's it. We do end up losing out on Chamberlain, which is unfortunate. But let's take a look at National Signing Day to see who we do all the development traits. We do lose 2 high school prospects. We lose Chamberlain to Oregon. We lose Mays to Kentucky. And then the last player we end up losing is Parker Mitchell, a right guard. But let's take a look at development traits. Bush Jr. is an impact development. Normal for Ellis, normal for Gordon, unfortunately. Star for both receivers, Rogers and Tuggle. And a bunch of normals I'm seeing, although Wilkins and Brand both have impact. Star for Simmons, which is a big pickup for us. We have the 10th class in the country. 4 5-stars, 9 4-stars, and 10 3-star transfers. As far as recruits go, we were middle of the pack, and same for transfers, at least in the top 25. It's still good to have a top 25 class, but Bush is our highest overall player. Gordon's only an 82, but the highest overall freshman is another running back, Bursby. Wow, an 82. Depending on development, he may be our starter for next episode. We are not going to be playing games in this episode. This is an introductory episode. As Armin is an 80 with elite development, he's going to be a freak. Patrick McQuarters also probably going to start. Probably going to start Tuskens. I mean, there's a lot of players on this team that I feel like we do need to start. And Parker Lawrence, we may keep him at center. We also may move him to right guard, depending on positional needs. We're going to keep him at center for now. I may move him to guard after seeing what each position looks like as far as a starting overall. Gio Lopez is still the highest overall quarterback, but I feel like Wilkins could definitely develop in training results. But Bursby, I mean, he's even projected to be the starter. And a wide receiver, we have Ship. Armin is going to probably start, considering his deal breaker is playing time. We'll probably have to rotate him in. Definitely going to need to recruit another tight end. Ellis is an 85 overall. And Parker Lawrence is a worse overall center than our starter. And taking a look at right guard, we're going to move Lawrence to right guard just to have a better starter at that position. He goes up by 3 overall. And, I mean, TJ Bush Jr., he'll probably develop into a 90. Simmons, we're going to move over to right edge just to get the higher overall. And we'll probably end up manually progressing some of these players just to make them into a higher overall. And we're going to move Emmanuel from right edge to left edge just for positional needs. Defensive tackle, definitely going to have to recruit a couple of them because they're not great for us. Linebacker definitely got a great revamp in the recruiting class as well as the transfer portal. So that should probably help us. And we're going to move Hickman Collins over to will linebacker just for positional needs once again. Corners, not great. Gonna have to hope that some of these players take big leaps. We do have Peyton Water, who has star development, and Patterson, who also has star development. So hopefully those guys can develop. And here we are at training results. We're going to talk about the future of this team for about the next 10 minutes. I'll leave a timestamp, but if you want to skip in between players. But here we're upgrading TJ Bush. He is going to end his senior season off as a 90 overall pass rusher. So upgraded his pass rushing a lot. Should help. Gio Lopez is most likely going to be the starter quarterback. But I like Wilkins a lot just based on his project speed. Obviously, his accuracies are not going to have that high of a skill cap. But if he could be our starting quarterback next year, depending on how Gio Lopez does, because one of the requirements is if starters are not performing, they don't play. That is a guideline set by the AI, and Wilkins, even if Gio Lopez is the higher overall and not performing at midseason next year, he may be benched for Wilkins. But Lopez obviously does have the higher accuracies, your more traditional quarterback. And he's going to end up an 86 after training results. He doesn't get any other abilities, but he does get some upgrades to those accuracies. And AJ Bryant is the last guy we're going to upgrade in this quarterback room. He's a pure runner, which is, in my opinion, the worst archetype in the game for QBs. I mean, their caps are not great. They start off with low throw power. Yeah, I mean, you can't make every throw in the book with a pure runner archetype quarterback. But, may add some interesting things to the quarterback room. We're not going to upgrade Gordon just because he only has 18 skill points. But the receiver room, we're going to spend a lot of time in here because we have a bunch of star development receivers. And they have developed quite nicely. And the first one we're going to do is Jordan Ship, a sophomore receiver. We're going to upgrade his speed once, and then we're going to completely focus on his route running. and probably some of his physical abilities. He is only a sophomore, so we don't want to get him too high, just in case he either transfers or even decides to declare for the draft early. We're going to get him up to platinum cutter and silver double dip, so he gets some abilities that will help him with double moves and some of in breaking routes. Noah Rogers is a star development speedster archetype receiver. Now, the speedster archetype is very interesting to develop because there's not really one thing that upgrades them quickly. And route running is normally what I stick with if I'm going to upgrade a receiver as far as a speedster archetype goes. But his route running's already maxed out, so we had to spread the points around. He's up to an 86. And we're going to do Nitro Tuggle. Another star dev is a sophomore. He's going to max out his speed. And obviously his route running's now maxed out, so we have to move on to hands. He's going to be up to about an 85, roughly. Just gauging by the upgrades that he's got. We'll give him double dip. Could have gave him takeoff there, but I feel like double dip, if you're going to have a bunch of play action, double move type plays, definitely needed on your receivers. Chris Culliver, star dev senior receiver. Hopefully he takes a big leap here. We're going to upgrade his route running. His route running caps are really good, but it's his senior season. The reason he may not even start for us, but just because, upgrading your receiver room can, if they get drafted, just based off pure overall, will definitely help. And we're going to move past the offensive line. And we've already done TJ Bush, but another edge rusher I'm interested in is Derek Simmons. Only a 76 right now. He is a transfer freshman, so he'll be a sophomore this year. And we're going to probably max out his pass rush. And then after this, next season we'll focus on developing his run stopping. And he may end up being a draftable player the more we get into the series. On to probably another edge rusher that I'm looking to develop. Sinidu Onyogo? Or Onyorger? We're just going to call him Cindy for now, until I figure out how to pronounce his name. But Cindy here is going to be a great pass rusher. Probably going to bring him in situational plays. May even play him at rush defensive tackle. The interesting thing about him is he's a one-star recruit that was already on this team. So probably a feel-good story for some UNC fans. If any of you watching are a UNC fan and you know who this guy is, please let me know down in the comments. And tell me if he's any good. Maybe we come up with a nickname for him. Peyton Waters is going to be the second to last player we upgrade here. He is definitely going to be part of my long-term plans, at least for the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, he is going to be an 80 maxed out pass coverage. And he has 4 points left, probably going to put that into hands. And he's going to be he's going to play at high safety. And then we have Christian Dunbar Hawkins, excuse me. He isn't the fastest. So I'm thinking we rotate him to strong safety. And then the next player we're about to upgrade, I'll show you here in a moment, is going to be my user. But him and McQuarters will be my user. But Jaden Patterson, great tackling. He's super fast. He's a box safety. Definitely somebody I want to play in the box, and what better way to get him in the box than play him at sub linebacker and just let him play permanently linebacker. I mean, he's up to an 87, should be a great user. And we move over our guy that we just talked about previously to the strong safety position, but there is a weird glitch in College Football 26 where some players will not get fully upgraded. So we're going to sim to the regular season where we'll end this one off, take a look at the roster fully upgraded, and we are an 86. JC French doesn't get much better. I mean, most of these quarterbacks are already maxed out, but Gordon only goes up to an 84. So I do think Bugsby is going to be starting for us. And I think overall developing this roster has honestly been a success for year one. Obviously, did do some recruiting, and Armud is probably going to start. But now I will have some podcast episodes ready for next season. And when we play the games, I'll probably have that in that just. But I do have a verse of the day to end this one off. And it's going to be John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That'll end this one off here. I'm UW signing off. Have a blessed day.